good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska, Akademiks, and Wayno here. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Although Akademiks, looks like you have a little injury. What happened over there?
What the fuck happened to you, dog?
Trying to jump
did they finally run down on you? You finally got ran down on?
No, actually bad accident.
Okay.
Knife incident. I got 24 stitches though. I'll be
Were
right.
you cooking?
No, I was cutting something open. My hand slipped off the handle and went to the blade.
4 stitches, damn. All right, I'm
Was
glad
you
you're
drunk?
okay.
I hate stitches.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot of stitches.
I was like forcing it, like trying to open something, like to cut into something, and then my hand slipped off the handle, went to the blade, it cut all along here.
Oh man.
Super deep.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost fainted when I saw the shit. I was like, look, it was like
You're
looking
that guy
inside
in
the
the
chicken,
movie?
like the meat was hanging out. It was crazy. But yeah, enough of that. I'll be all right.
Wayno, what about you?
My weekend was pretty cool. I didn't do much. I went to the movies with the fam. You know what I mean? Got to see Captain Marvel, chilled out, did some work. Nothing too crazy. I was chilling.
I was out in Colorado this weekend. I gotta give a little shout out actually. So I met these cool like high school kids in Denver. So I'm working with this like company XQ. You might like this since you hated school so much.
Okay.
So basically,
Damn.
you know how like, no, cause you always say,
I
especially
did
when
hate
Cole
school.
comes up, like how high school, like they just have not updated curriculums and shit. It's just super boring. So they're just like working to like update things, make it more modern. So they're doing some pop-ups. Anyway, I met these really cool kids out in Denver. So shout out to AK and all of his friends. He said like their school is named after a KKK member, and they were like working to have a vote to have the name change. I know, right? I wasn't doing anything that important when I was their age. They were big fans of Everyday Struggle, so they came up to say hi, and we were chatting for a little bit.
So they working on changing the name of the school?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So he said they're about to have a vote, so I hope like everything worked out well with the vote. They're like really dope.
Yo, that's crazy. A KKK member could get a school named after them.
I assume that was like a very, very long time ago. Like I had
Right.
my assumptions about what Denver would be like, but then this group of like beautiful Ethiopian kids like rolls up on me. So apparently it's a bit more diverse than I expected.
500 people a month moved to Denver. Denver is like one of the first, for real, 500. I was out there a couple of years ago, and 500 people per month was moving out there at the time.
Wow.
Because once the weed bill got passed, a lot of people started, no, for real, a lot of people started moving there specifically because of that.
Yeah, there's a lot more immigrants out there than I thought, which is really dope. Anyway, shout out to AK and his friends. Let's get into some music. So this Friday, Juice WRLD released his sophomore album, Death Race for Love. 22 songs, features from Brent Fires, Clever, Young Thug, and more. Production by Boy Wonder, Hit Boy, No ID, etc. The lead single off of the album was called Robbery. We got this one in mid-February. It's a long album. 22 songs, I guess that's kind of what we're used to. What did you guys think? The first song had me dying. As I listened to it, I was thinking about Wayno and how much you complain about kids being too sad in their music all the time.
Yeah, I'll go first. So one thing I really respect Juice WRLD. Like, you know, I think that he's had one of the best starts out of like this new generation. But listening to this album, like, I didn't really like a lot of the music on there, because I like Juice WRLD rapping. Like, I really like to hear him rap. It's only like 7 songs I picked that I really like. The songs that I did like, I liked a lot. I played them back a few times. But I can't do the whole sad, I'm in love, please don't leave me. Like, I just think the delivery, I understand that how it's good, but I can't listen to that. Now, the joints that he's rapping on, I fuck with, super heavy. And then my favorite songs off of there was, I say specifically, my favorite song off of there is Make Believe, because it has the Runaway sample that Farside used. You know, Can't Keep Running Away had that sample. Nobody used that in a while. But Desire, Out My Way, On God with Young Thug, 10 Feet, Syphilis was my favorite song. And Big. Those are my favorite songs off of there. But overall, I don't know how many times I will listen to this album again, but those songs specifically are dope. I just felt like it was
7 is
very,
not bad though.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I don't think the songs that were there were bad. I might have to go back because I know Akka's gonna say, "What, you didn't like?" I know he's gonna hit me with that.
That's not a 22. That's horrible. That's 1/3.
Well, I really liked the 7, but I just couldn't get with the other.
I'm saying, considering how our reviews have been going here for the year, 7 out of 22 is not bad. But what'd you think about it?
I'm the exact opposite. I'm cool off from rapping on the album. Rap on these little freestyles and radio shows. That's cute. I don't want to hear Juice WRLD rap on his album.
Why not?
Because the songs that really made me a fan of him are the songs where he's really showing emotion. That might not be a thing, but for a lot of people, and even me, I love when he's like getting into that bag. And that's what he did pretty much for the whole album. My only critique is some of it felt uninspired. Like, he may have felt a little, well, number one, it's too many songs, 22 songs, too many songs. But I felt like he felt a little bit of pressure to kind of do what he basically did on his first tape. And people wanted the emotional shit. They wanted Lucid Dreams. They wanted all these girls the same. They wanted songs like that. And I felt some songs, even though the subject content was there, and sonically, you know, he's good at kind of bouncing off melodies. Some of it didn't really, it didn't feel like it was coming from a place of like real feeling. It was just kind of like, yo, I made the song because I know I kind of want it. But overall, I actually like the album.
Well, I really like the cover because it's and I seen he said that Twisted Metal was his favorite video game growing up, and it's kind of like a playoff for Twisted Metal. But yeah, I like 7 songs out of the 22.
Okay. So Ak, you liked more than 7 then?
Yeah, no, honestly,
You know, I mean,
No,
if
honestly,
said
I
it's
like
also
most of
too
the album.
long.
Some
Okay.
of the songs he like, I didn't really care for. He was rapping too much on the shit.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
How's a rapper rapping too much? Like, he's a rapper.
Well, when I listen to him, I get a lot of Trippie Redd and Post Malone vibes.
Okay.
Again, it's cool.
But he can rap though. Like the
I know.
Trippie Redd and
No.
Post Malone. No, I ain't gonna front. Trippie Redd. I actually heard like 1 or 2 songs where Trippie Redd was actually rapping and it didn't sound bad. But he's a good rapper. I would take Juice WRLD to flex and put any beat on and he could kill it, right? So I do want to hear rappers rap. Like I want to hear rappers rap.
Yeah, but like it's kind of the thing when we talk about with Drake. Yeah, Drake could rap and he could sing, but when you're compiling an album, what do you want to hear more? You get me? I don't want to hear like a lot of the times I'm seeing him rap, he ain't rapping about shit. He's rapping a rhyme and he's good at it.
Yeah.
But he ain't rapping about shit. When I listen to Juice WRLD, again, I'm gonna lean to the music that evokes some type of feeling because that's the artist I've categorized him to be. I know he could rap, but just rapping to show that you have some lyrical talent.
Okay, so he was rapping with more content. Then
Yeah,
you would feel
absolutely.
different
But
about
a
it.
lot of rappers don't rap
Absolutely.
about shit. Act like, come on, a lot of rappers don't rap about shit.
You're
He's
right.
actually,
You're
but
right.
he,
But
he
his
can
music
actually.
is about shit though.
His music is about shit, but the thing, that's why I like to hear him rap because like when he raps, it's just skill. Like him rapping is just skill. He could say shit about shoot. Like when I hear him say like shooting some shit or something, I don't take it literal like he's on some tough guy shit. He just use it in a skill format. I like to hear that from him. But and even with the like the emotional songs, a few of them is cool, but I just can't get with that shit. I'm sorry, but I don't know what it is. I can't just sit there and listen to niggas rap about or sing about being sad about love. You know what I mean? And you know what it does? This album does make me wish. Like listening to it in its entirety makes me want some more Uzi music. Cause a lot of the music that's on here, I'm like, damn, I feel like this is some shit that Uzi could have did on a higher level.
Interesting.
Also, I forgot what song it is. Like he was rapping about like some Chicago shit where we tote this.
That's big.
That's big,
That's
right?
big. That shit
I
is
don't like
fire.
That shit at all.
That shit is fire.
I don't want to hear that.
That shit
from
is fire.
Juice
Why
WRLD.
not? He's from Chicago. The niggas.
I get it. Like well, I look at him and I've categorized him at least musically. And again, maybe that's just me being a fan and I have my unfair assumptions of what he should make music about, and I can't dictate that. But like that just felt off of what I consider the type of artist he is. I'm like, whoa.
But even
you know
for
what I mean?
22
Like,
songs, you don't think it's okay that he has a mix of it? Or a
No,
little bit of rap
look,
in it?
but my thing is like, okay. He's from Chicago. He can rap. Chicago rappers, they usually rap about violent shit. Like, let's keep it 100. It's very
he's breaking
few.
the mold though.
No, he's definitely breaking the mold, but I'm just saying, it's like, if he has to rap, right, he's gonna rap about, he says on it, this is some Chicago shit, right? So I don't think that that's far left from him, of course, because he's around Herbo and Bibby and all of them. Like, those is his team and his peoples. So, that's not far off of the type of artist he is. It's just, like, I can't get with the other shit. Like, that's what I can't get with. I can accept that from him because it's Chicago authentic.
If I'm anybody around him, I tell him, nigga, leave that Chicago rapping shit alone. This Post Malone, trippy music,
He
this
got that,
emo
though.
shit, that's gonna make you a superstar.
But he
I
has
think all
that,
that stuff, like, I don't know, like, I've always said about Post Malone, he makes global music, international music. You don't really have to know where he's from. I don't even know where Post Malone, where he's from. I don't know.
Texas somewhere.
Dallas. He's from
That's
Dallas.
great.
He's
I
from
don't know,
Dallas.
but wherever his music just resonates with you because of the feeling of what he's saying on the record. With Juice WRLD,
Had them bars. You wouldn't want to hit them bars of Post Malone. Like, imagine Post Malone just coming with some crazy 40 bars
don't
right
even
now.
No. I'm not hating on rapping ability or somebody be able to kick some bars.
You just think
I
this is
just
his
like
pocket.
I like when he just makes global music. I look at him as a superstar, a pop star, and
He's gonna be. I mean, if he's not already, well,
I
he
mean,
still got
pretty
work
much.
to do. He still has work to do, but I think he's definitely on that wave. Like, he's definitely gonna get there.
I want him to more focus towards that. Again, this is a fan.
fan,
This
okay.
is a fan
Yeah.
trying to see an artist who is black, who's #1 from Chicago. Again, grew up very different from the other people we're comparing to. If we're comparing him to Post Malone, completely different background. But I do believe he has the talent to be a super pop icon. You get me?
So let me ask you this question. Even like you said with Drake, so even though Drake does all the big pop records and all of that, you still want to hear fucking 4 a.m. wherever the fuck he's at.
But so I think his point is like when Drake raps, he raps with more substance than Juice WRLD. You said he's doing it just
But Drake
for
just
rhyme.
raps
That's
about
his-
what he's going through more than just.
It's very relatable though, always.
Hey, and if Juice WRLD did the same, I'll be down.
Okay.
I'll be super down. And will he get there? Probably. I just think now people are, the people, I don't want to say people like you, but like the people who don't really care for like the emotional type of music, they kind of say, yo, dude, you can rap. But not necessarily because you could rap means that's what you really should give that makes the best music.
I think that when he does rap, it's just to remind niggas. You know what I mean? Like I feel like because he does all of these big global sounding songs, because I know he rocks festivals, he can sing all that shit. I think he always throws his rap shit in there just to say, y'all can't fuck with me with this either. But I just like that side of him a little bit more.
Understandable.
Yeah. And that's what I love when he does on interviews and whatever. But I mean, again, incorporate it into the music, not mad at it.
I'm sure he could find his pocket. Like Post Malone, like Rockstar is a mega super, I mean, of course it's more like 21 rapping on that.
Yeah.
But if a song like that is like a global hit with great rapping, he could definitely do it to your point.
I'm just, again, I have maybe unfair standards and pressure for him. Another thing I'll say is that going through the album for the first time, and actually even the second time when I was passing through it, I was really also, because this is what I thought of his first mixtape, and then he dropped a couple songs in between. The songs that blew up were heavily inspired by samples, this and third. We all know he got sued. And for me, it was kind of seeing him kind of prove himself to see if you're not assisted by a hit song in the past and you have to make an original, he had to prove his pen a little bit to me.
Right.
Because the biggest songs that charted well, they were inspired, or I won't say copied, sampled from other hit songs that clearly worked. So seeing him kind of come up with different concepts and different melodies that were really unique to himself, it gave me a lot of like hope for him, because like when you see somebody come out with Lucid Dreams and that shit, which is still dominating the charts, you never know. Yeah, you get that song and then you're just a flash in the pan and then you're out of here, or you're gonna last. I think he'll last. I just want to hear the lyrics with a little more.
Well,
context.
the numbers also make it seem like he's gonna last. His fan base came out, right? It's not just like an Instagram audience who didn't buy this project. You want to take me through some numbers?
Yeah, so he's supposed to sell up to like 170,000, between 140 and 170,000 with this project, which to be honest, that's like tremendous. Like I always have tiers of rappers, and up at the top, at least for the newer rappers, you have the Uzis, you have the X's, God rest his soul, and I think Juice WRLD has now kind of kicked open the door to be like, hey, I'm the guy. Like again, if we're gonna call this his sophomore album, clearly, whatever you think about the content, his numbers definitely wasn't a sophomore slump. So
I know you like to compare people to their peers in terms of like the numbers. So if we're comparing him to his peers, I feel like he's far above and beyond.
I think he's sitting at the top.
Yeah.
He's sitting at the top. And also, what we've realized that when people fuck with your music and fuck with what you've given, sometimes you don't get rewarded for the numbers on that offering. But if you take some time and create another project, anticipation does build up. So, congratulations to him. Yeah. He's on Interscope. They're eating lovely over here today.
We got some other ones though. 2 Chainz, right? Rapper Go to the League. At number 4 at 65,000. Li Skies, number 5. He's doing well as well.
Shit, that's big for Li Skies.
Yeah,
Gunna.
Yeah, I got to salute to Li Skies, and I don't think a lot of people expected him to put up solid numbers for, like his first project, I believe, did like 18 cares. It started off slow and then it built up after people caught on to the songs. Clearly, people came out a little bit better for his second album. And shit, yeah, we mentioned Gunna and Offset before, but Chainz, I like that Chainz is staying consistent, and I think I give Chainz that Rick Ross categorization where he puts up solid numbers consistently, and despite if it's his 3rd year or his 10th year, like he's still gonna be there. Like we're not gonna have that conversation saying is he flopping or whatever. Does solid numbers constantly.
Yeah, because Chainz, his shit, like it always lasts. Like Pretty Girls Love Trap Music, like just went platinum. So it's like with Chainz, his shit, he puts out content throughout a whole year and a half every time he drops an album. So it lives for a bit, even with the sales that he does, I'm pretty sure he's gonna tour, he's gonna do a ton of different things that's gonna help amplify it. So salute to him too.
And I have an active research, and I'm petitioning to Nielsen to figure out what the fuck is going on with A Boogie's album. This album
Still doing well.
It's stuck in the top 10. Salute to Highbridge. They're doing amazing. But again, I love the project, but I just can't tell how he's streaming that good to just stay top 10.
Are you trying to find a conspiracy theory?
No,
yeah, he go. Listen.
No.
You said that New York niggas don't be we don't be satisfied. So I'm happy with A Boogie. Don't start asking questions,
No.
man.
I'm happy with him too.
Don't start asking questions.
But when you see an artist like him succeed, you gotta. Sometimes you miss out on pockets of audience that fuck with an artist.
Yeah.
That's why shit like, for example, when Russ does great numbers. A lot of people. I remember I went to a Russ concert and I saw 3,500 people and I was like, whoa. When I was thinking about just the entire music, like just landscape and fans of music, I never thought that this was that many Russ fans.
Did you see Boogie's show at Terminal 5?
No, listen, M. Holla, man, send me an invite. I gotta come to one of Boogie's shows. I've been to one of like, but it wasn't a show.
Right.
It wasn't like he performed at a college. It was like for the basketball team.
Oh, now you gotta see one of the shows.
Yeah.
This nigga changing outfits and sets and
word?
everything. Yeah, he got a full-on show. But I think that's why. I think it's more of like the brand that he's built around himself as opposed to just his music. It's his music along with him touring, him doing different things. Like he has to deal with Puma. He did like all of this stuff in his community. It's a culmination of all these different things that make him move. Like, you know.
Yeah. I've heard, like, again, I spoke with his team about that. They mentioned his touring and also the music, which a lot of artists, you know, like on Instagram when somebody goes platinum or gold, they throw up the plaque or whatever. He has a ton of records that have gotten really successful. I'm just proud of him.
Yeah,
I'm
shout
proud
out
of
to
him.
A Boogie.
Because he's one of the only artists I see consistent on the charts, ain't doing no fuckery.
Ain't doing
Right.
no
No
fuckery.
bullshit with him.
Very rare. All right, guys. So YBN Almighty Jay definitely had a rough weekend. So on Friday night, footage surfaced of him getting jumped and allegedly robbed by a group of men in New York. And on Saturday morning, TMZ tried to provide some more context, but it sounds like they got the story completely wrong. So they're saying that the fight started after like him and Lil TJ's crew ran into each other outside of Saks Fifth Avenue. We saw a video of an altercation on the streets. We could take a look. So he got attacked again later in the day, and we saw like a photo of him with his face cut up and stuff like that. He clearly got hurt, but Lil TJ actually sent a nice message to him on Instagram. So Wayno, can you give us some clarification here?
Yeah, what's kind of crazy is like TMZ, they reported something. They reported a lot of different people's names that was mixed up in it, and they got a lot of this shit wrong. Little TJ, I spoke to his manager yesterday. His manager told me that him and Almighty Jay have spoken. Of course, that's not for public. They're not gonna record their phone call, but you know, he sent them his well wishes, and they're actually cool. What happened early in the day, I'm hearing didn't actually have something to do with what happened in the night. It was some random shit, but this is really unfortunate. Like, Almighty Jay is not from our city. He shouldn't be treated that way when he comes here. And like he got beat up and all that, but he got cut and all that shit. Like, he's a young kid, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate to see like just black kids acting like this towards each other, you know what I mean? But more than that, I think that these kids got to just be cautious in how they move and how they approach situations. Like, it doesn't pay to be a tough guy, because then it's two sides of the coin. You got jail, you got death, and then you got, he didn't die, but now he has to look in the mirror every day and be reminded of what happened to him, which is very messed up. He's a really cool kid, you know what I mean? But Lil TJ had nothing to do with the situation, from what I was told.
I was watching this whole situation as it unfolded over the weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, number one, it's messed up. You know, YBN Almighty Jay, like, he's a cool dude. Like, me and him were talking like the day before. Super fucked up. But I'm watching how everything is unfolding, and I just don't think this is the end of this. And I'm seeing a lot of moving parts.
For him specifically, you mean, or like
not
all
for him.
parties involved, or?
Let me tell you this. This is just my observation. The New York scene right now is a bunch of niggas trying to get attention. And I watched, like, I'm on Instagram and I'm watching a bunch of niggas instigate issues and all type of shit happening. And I'm like, this ain't gonna end well, especially when you're getting people who are connected hurt, they're involved. So I just wish everybody stay safe. I can't imagine having like a deep laceration like that on your face.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a permanent scar. Again, I'm glad you provided some clarification, because I was under the impression that the incident that we saw that happened in the day was connected to what happened in the night. And even that was kind of messed up, because I was told that, hey, He's in the city. He's rocking out with somebody from the city, and they go to somewhere at Saks Fifth. That's a high-end luxury store.
In the middle of the day.
Fifth Ave.
Yeah,
Like
they're
super
wilding.
populated area.
Those kids, whom have all of them, they're bugging the fuck out because they lucky they didn't all get arrested right then and there because that's not a place to be playing around at. But my fault, go ahead.
And Fifth Ave, it's a luxury street where you go and cop shit, right? And to see them out there brawling like that, and you could imagine YBN Almighty Jay, again, not really knowing what's what. He's not from New York. He probably couldn't have never guessed that. I'm just hoping that, again, everything gets rectified and, you know, there was things taken from him, but really that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things when you're literally, the video is so disgusting. It showed how much of savages like humans could be. Like the kid is literally defenseless. He's balled up in a fetal position. People are kicking him, throwing stuff on him. They're shouting out orders to each other, cut him. Like, again, it shows you the lack of humanity. And by the way, this is all played out. And then like there was like at least 30 of these dudes sending stuff to me thinking I'm gonna post it.
Really?
Yeah, like
Wow, so they do it and then hit you for promo?
Yeah, like it's even, and the guys who or again, I don't know who's who, but the people who are sending stuff, it's not even like they were like, oh, we're rappers. They just wanted to be known.
Yeah, like it's not
very sad.
It's a lack of like it's humanity, but also like a high show of stupidity. It's like that's what I'm really seeing. It's like, yo, if you committing any type of criminal act and you're recording it and then you're sending it to people to try to post it and all that, you're asking to go to jail. Like you're asking.
I see one of the dudes do an interview. It's wild. I'm watching this shit and I'm like, again, I don't know how even, like, because we also got to think about legal ramifications. That happens there. It's now viral. You have a kid with literally cuts on his face. If anyone who's familiar with the New York scene and shit that's happened, when you see him getting beat down like that, you almost think of what's the young man who passed away, Junior, where he was getting mobbed on by a bunch of people. Nobody helped. Again, who knows if the police takes this up and everybody's there. Like the people who are doing these things, it doesn't take a scientist or some type of brain surgeon to figure it out. I just don't know why people risk their freedom for shit like this. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words when it comes to this. Yeah. And for again, this is just advice from a nigga who just ain't about that life. But when y'all go to any city, listen, man, always enlist in security, man. I don't care. You could be cool with everybody in the city. Niggas gonna hold you down. Again, you're better off paying for security that's gonna definitely be there than you get caught like this.
Every time I've seen him, he's had security. Like I seen him at Meek's thing a couple months back, and he had security guard.
That's unfortunate, but this time he didn't.
Yeah,
but I guess you don't expect this kind of shit going to Saks Fifth Avenue in the middle of.
Well, I don't think that happened. That didn't happen at Saks Fifth.
The thing that happened.
Just this fight outside that we watched.
Yeah, but the thing that happened with him getting beat down like brutally was supposedly at his hotel. So that's also confusing. It's like a lot of moving parts. Again, we do know, by the way, YBN Almighty Jay, YBN just in general, just the crew, like they're connected to Jay Prince. There's a lot of affiliations who have, you know, showed love to them and they've showed love vice versa. So I'm just hoping things get resolved without further violence.
Amicably, yeah, and hopefully.
This is not a good look for New York, though.
Yeah, it's not.
Not a good look for New York. I've seen a lot of people who are amping it like, yo, this is how New York give it.
No,
this is how New York give it up when niggas ready to go to jail. And everything that everybody's been working for gets thrown out the window. This is not good.
Hopefully Jay recovers quickly. This is pretty terrible. All right, and some more dark news. R. Kelly released from jail again this weekend. And now, according to TMZ, there's allegedly another sex tape. So this would be the third one in recent history. So a man by the name of Gary Dennis came forward claiming he found this while going through his old VHS tapes. The story gets a little sketchy here. So apparently he was going through it. He thought it was a sports tape, but then he also saw it had R. Kelly's name on it. He said he watched it and allegedly saw him engaging in sexual acts with underage black girls. He believes it's recorded back in the 90s. So this man denies having any connection to R. Kelly, which is even more confusing why this would just be in his collection of tapes. But his attorney said they did hand it over to law enforcement officials, and they believe that there are even more tapes in circulation.
Somebody lying about something. Somebody lying about something. Like, first off, I mean, I don't know anybody who still owns a VCR. I mean, a VCR. Like, secondly, like, the tape, right? Like, how do you, like, you have sports tapes. I didn't know who this guy is, but how do you randomly get a R. Kelly sex tape in your sports tapes.
We need
Your
answers,
sports
Gary.
tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how the fuck does that happen? Like, this shit just fell in there? Or like, if he would have said, all right, I purchased a house, used to belong to R. Kelly or his manager or his cousin, whatever the case may be. But how do you randomly, and it's only one tape? Yeah. That wasn't like, that's not by coincidence, that's by design, to me.
This sick fuck was harboring child porn. He was probably watching it. This is what I'm thinking. Again, this is just only the Tulsa Akademiks. This sick fuck was either watching this shit consistently over the years and probably now either tried to cash in on it and couldn't and just turned over to authorities, or he was probably, again, we've heard these allegations, probably tried to blackmail homie. The check ain't get cleared. And now, if the check ain't get cleared, turn it over to the cops. Again, if that is true, because we've heard that about a couple other supposed tapes that are in circulation, how is everybody just randomly finding these tapes?
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
If let's just imagine that. These people were extorting R. Kelly. And I brought up this point before. They were extorting R. Kelly. The extortion stopped supposedly and reportedly. R. Kelly, even to his own admission, said he only got $350,000 in the bank. Still a lot of money, but if you have to pay a bunch of peoples and maintain a lifestyle and also have like a whole like bunch of chicks like in the basement, who knows, right? Who knows if that money could really stretch? So if he stops paying these people and now they're doing this, what do we think of those people? Right?
So
And then also, if this person has zero connection to R. Kelly, how did they get it?
How does a tape get that? In his sports tapes, he said that he thought it was an R. Kelly concert. Did he say he was a promoter? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how, that's like tomorrow I say, yo, I just randomly got a R. Kelly tape in my tape, so when I used to play basketball. How the fuck did it get there?
And you know he like sat with the lawyer and had
Nobody's
to come up with this,
VHS
too.
collection goes from like the Jordan flu game to R. Kelly fucking a kid.
Right.
Nobody does that. You get me? I think this person. Also, we do have to until it's verified by authorities.
Right, because by the way, his attorney, of course, says that it's not him on the tape. They're gonna deny this, and I'm sure hopefully, I don't want to see.
As they should, even if it is him.
Yeah.
But again, just to be clear and be fair, there was even I don't know if I hate to even think this could be a gravy train, but like there was like a victim that tried to come forward who was claiming that R. Kelly did something with them underage, and then they were holding up a picture. It was like literally like LL Cool J. So again, until the authorities like verify that, hey, this is evidence that we could use,
Right.
we don't know if this is just something that will just make the headlines but never really be incorporated into his case. We just don't know what it is. We're just wondering why this nigga got it. It just looks weird.
Yeah, like you just randomly got a tape. He didn't say it was shipped to me, nothing. You just got a tape, like.
Found it in your collection, Gary.
Yeah, Gary's
If we
collection.
find out there's a black market for R. Kelly
Oh God.
child sex tapes, this would be very bad.
Yeah.
And also would be the thing that sends him to jail, of course.
Yeah, but Gary got some explain. Yo, I gotta see who Gary is.
Gary, I want to know how long you guys worked on this statement about finding it in your sports tape collection.
For real, yeah, that's
Was
crazy.
it between the DVDs and Blu-rays, or did you have only VHS tapes? What's good, Gary?
Like, I don't know, but I know he's bringing a lot of heat on. He's gonna bring a lot of attention on himself. He should just throw that shit in the river or something. He's gonna bring a lot of attention on himself for this, cause it just doesn't make sense.
Or just turn it in and just be silent.
Right, be anonymous about it.
Right? Even
Yeah,
though
he
if
telling
I'm the
his side
cops,
of
the
the
first thing
story.
I'm asking you, like, how long did you have this?
Right.
How many copies you got of this? How many more do you have of
But
other
how
guys?
did you get it though? Like that makes no sense. Like it's just a random fucking tape just in your sports collection.
Well, I'm sure the answers will come.
And by the way, just to, again, be fair, if R. Kelly was that reckless that he was recording like him being with underage kids and leaving them on random VHS tapes. And by the way, we hear the same allegation about even Michael Jackson. Supposedly some of his escapades with kids were recorded and VHS tapes were left around where people later on after he died were saying, hey, listen, we were told to guard these, or he always kept these on lock and key. It shows how much of if these things are true, shows how much of a predator these men or R. Kelly, whichever one, could possibly be. If you thought not only doing it, but recording it and not even thinking twice to say, you know, you shouldn't even done this.
Well, comparing
it.
the dumb shit that people record today and the dumb shit they was recording back then, it doesn't seem like too much of a difference, right? You could just do it on your
like
phone
that.
now, right? Like it's
What?
Right.
Recorded some...
We just talked about
just
people
talked about people
robbing,
recording,
people assaulting them,
doing-
Well, those are
recording and
bums.
sending
No,
it
I'm
to
just saying.
you.
I'm just saying. Generally, just recording shit. Like you know what I mean? Like just people recording things that shouldn't be recorded. Like it seems like the parallel is people wanting to be seen, essentially, or wanting to watch themselves be into some shit. So it's like, I'm just saying that it's just very odd to me that people have this obsession with recording themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like how strong would any of these cases be if there was no evidence of like video or any of that shit, as far as like the R. Kelly stuff? Like if they saying that they have tapes and then they trying to match the tapes with the times, et cetera, why is there an argument? Because they have a tape.
Hey, these tapes are gonna come into question once again because, again, some of the stuff I am mentioning, these are just things that I've seen, either rumors or reports from R. Kelly's side, which are unsubstantiated. But again, imagine the trial going down where you have a bunch of witnesses who now are saying, yo, this happened then, but if there's proof that y'all took money, how credible could you be? Right. So the tapes are gonna be a big thing, especially if the witnesses / victims have gotten any type of money from Kelly to be quiet or nothing. The jury's gonna look at you weird. So now we're gonna look at the videotape. And if there's a bunch of these videotapes, God help that nigga.
CSI Akademiks.
CSI Akademiks.
No, this is gonna be a goddamn trial.
Again. So when he got out of jail this weekend, he of course seemed confident holding his little file folder saying thank you for whatever. But anyway, so TMZ also caught up with YG and DJ Mustard. It looks like they were coming out of a party. They had a good night and asked their thoughts on Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. Here's what they had to say.
Now, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson.
I fuck with R. Kelly. He's the best. He's big.
How about really?
Hey, how about Michael Jackson? Happy birthday to YG. I don't believe that. I don't believe what they say. I don't know. You don't believe it? I didn't watch the shit yet, so I don't know.
What I don't fuck with is that these white people, they've been doing whatever they've been doing about Michael Jackson.
And they just now waiting
and they choose now to try to destroy my nigga character because he a black male, you know what I'm saying? It's racism shit going on in this world, and that's why they coming for Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, all in like a 9-month situation. It's like, what's going on out here, my nigga?
An interesting take.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say, I don't know what R. Kelly is doing or really what his preference is. It's a little bit different from the clip we just saw, but I just seen on the prompter. Whoever the person is, because allegedly, like, he got out of jail twice. First time paying $100,000 in bond, second time paying $161,000 in child support. Whoever is paying that for him, and reportedly he ain't paid either.
The first woman, we knew who she was. She spoke out and said, like, look, I don't know if you did what he did, but
do we know
friends.
Like who she actually is, or
yeah,
she's
no, we know
fake?
like really who she is. You
better wife up one of them, and hopefully they're overage. Wife up one of them and call it a day, man. Leave these kids alone, man. They're paying. I don't love no entertainer enough that if I had $161,000 in my bank account, I'm paying his child
They
support.
said that was his. She knows him. Like that's what happened. She knows him or something. But I mean, I wouldn't go directly. I don't directly agree with YG with everything he said, but there is like Harvey Weinstein. Where's the documentary for that? Like there's no. It's not equal in the case of like how things are being done on both sides. Because I think at that point it shouldn't be about anybody's color. It's just about horrible acts. But you don't see the same energy for the other situations that have happened and these ones that are happening now.
I assume though we'll probably get those documentaries later, right? Because
although
it's
happening
for
alive.
so long, I feel like we were hearing the Michael Jackson and the R. Kelly allegations for a long time, right? The Weinstein thing, I feel like, was a bombshell like recently.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know. Like I can't say. Well, the R. Kelly shit is different, but even with the Michael Jackson thing, I don't know. Like. I never knew him. Just because I like his songs don't mean that I know him personally or because I like his songs so much that he was not capable of doing any of these things. Yeah. I don't know, but I know a lot of the stories that they're saying along with their testimony is very sketchy when it comes to Michael Jackson. Like even, I think, is it Corey Haim? One of those Corys, I know it's like 2 or 3 Corys. He said that everything that the dude was saying about Michael Jackson was true except for the sexual part.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like
in the
HBO special, the dude, he was a child actor too. He said, yo, we all hung out with Michael, chill with him, all types of stuff. But he was like, as far as the sexual thing, that never happened with me. And the same dude, they testified that he didn't never do nothing to them. You know, and it's not just because he's a kid at this time, but I'm talking about his parents. Like your parents and all of that is coming to bat saying that he didn't do all this shit. Now he's dead, and it seems like everybody trying to cash in now that he's gone.
Hard to litigate these type of situations. I believe the guy you're talking about is Corey Feldman.
Feldman, yeah.
Again, I mentioned what he said before. I was like, yo, there's even certain people saying, yo, what are y'all talking about? I was kind of there. Well, not even kind of there. I wasn't there.
Right.
None of that happened with me. However, I seen another video with him, a later video where he's not saying anything happened to him, but he's just saying, yo, I'm not defending MJ no more.
Yeah.
So again, there's so many different sides and there's so many different angles. Like you could look at it from, hey, well, you testified before that didn't happen. But also you can say, well, hey, if you were being paid off at the time.
Yeah, what
You know what I mean?
Corey Feldman, he had him and another Corey, I think it's Corey Haim, they had both went on record saying that like they was abused as children and everything, and then like they stopped, you know, I guess they fought against these guys or whatever, their careers got blackballed, all types of shit. But they was like, that shit was been going on in Hollywood for centuries, like not centuries, for years, like, you know, it's always been going on. But I'm just saying, like, we don't see, it's a lot of people that's been swept under the rug. You don't see no documentaries on them. You don't.
As far as what YG and DJ Mustard said, honestly, I think it's just gonna come down to this. It's gonna come down to personal choice. And when the documentaries like Leaving Neverland, and also Surviving R. Kelly, those documentaries in the immediate aftermath is gonna give strong emotions and a strong wave of people with probably one opinion. But you're gonna get, as time goes on, people making their own choice. If somebody still likes Michael Jackson music or likes R. Kelly music, I'm not mad at it. I've personally said I still like some R. Kelly songs. I don't know nothing about him as a person. He's probably scum. Who knows? But again, I think everyone has to make their own choice. Sometimes when you see these documentaries come out, it becomes like everyone's supposed to act like a monolith. Like, yo, we not fucking with this. And it's just not gonna be that. And also, I do believe there's a bunch of other people who are just like staying quiet. They know information, but they're staying quiet because I don't want to call this like some type of creep era, but like the shit that a lot of these niggas was doing, they was dating mad underage kids. Marrying them, wilding out with them, like taking it, like all type of shit.
Nobody says nothing about.
Again, we just getting the worst out of here right now. Like R. Kelly.
It's just that it's been happening for so long, but now there's momentum. The thing is, like, people have always been scared to speak up. Like you said, you get blackballed. It's not easy to speak out against a popular person, but now that it's happening, it's just a snowball effect, right? It's just gonna keep going.
And to what Wayno's saying, I do agree a little bit. Like, you know, it's not that hard to speak out against R. Kelly. R. Kelly is literally isolated and ostracized in the music industry. It's pretty easy just to speak out. You'll get a platform because we know, or the thought is he's victimized and abused a lot of other people, right? Somebody like Harvey Weinstein, you really gotta come correct. So maybe it is coming in the pipeline, but it's gonna take a little longer because, again, it's not like a nigga like R. Kelly.
Like a little Woody Allen, like that story is insane. Like, you know, this dude adopted a little girl, raised her, and married her. Like, I don't like nobody. Where's the fucking?
Yo, all of those have to become. The Harvey Weinstein one is gonna be like an Oscar nominated. It has to win an Oscar probably,
saying,
like for all the fuckery he's done.
I was saying like Woody Allen.
Or Hulu and Netflix.
No, where's like Homeland Security kicking down Woody Allen's door for that shit? Like, that's crazy. You adopt a child, raise her, and marry her.
And
like,
it surfaces every few years. That story.
Yeah, and nobody says nothing.
Hey, it
about
might be in the works. Let's see. Hopefully they're all coming. You guys remember a couple weeks back we were talking about the Gucci blackface sweater that pissed a lot of people off. Lil Pump, T.I. was boycotting. Soulja Boy said he was gonna get the tattoos removed. Like, clearly Young Thug is not feeling the same way about that. But anyway, does Thugger get a pass for this?
I wouldn't say a pass, but I'm never surprised. Like, he used to wear dresses and shit. Like, I'm never surprised that any choice he makes fashion wise. Do I think it's dope? No, but I don't think that that's far off of Thugger. Is it cool? No, not to me. But I don't expect Thugger to not do something like this. I personally believe, and I said this, that there's gonna be an artist that gets a blackface chain or some shit like that. For real, I believe that something like that's gonna happen. Like,
it's gonna be Kanye. He's gonna be
Kanye been chilling.
Y'all leave Kanye been having these Sunday morning service rocking. I will say, yo, this is one of the reasons I always say, don't look to rappers for any type of socio-political statement or movement or even just stance. Most of these niggas don't give a shit about anything. You always gotta remember the context when you see some shit. Just like I remember, like, I don't wanna hear nothing from Wayne. I love Wayne musically, but I remember when Wayne disavowed Black Lives Matter. That has to mean something when you're thinking about these people afterwards in any statement they might make. When you think about Young Thug, the last thing I remember about Young Thug was during the time of Mike Brown and whatever, he notoriously got on Instagram Live and told people to go kill white people. Like, that's not a message. Again, you gotta understand who's saying what. So we've seen Thug do a bunch of shit, whether it's fashion for attention. Yeah. We've seen just when it comes to some real serious shit, rather than if he's not in the know, be quiet. He actually says some really ignorant shit. So like, if you're gonna see ignorance there, the ignorance is not gonna stop. And a lot of times when the richer these niggas get, the more ignorant they get. So I'm pretty sure he wanted to make a statement. You know, recently he was calling out somebody, I believe at the Oscars, for rocking a dress, saying, hey, I took all the arrows for the dress wearing niggas.
Word.
Why ain't people giving him the same energy? I'm a legend. When you're trying to get dress credits, something's going on. But now, clearly when the culture is, even if like, you know, like you do like that type of thing, like you should understand the climate. You shouldn't be tone deaf. We accuse a lot of people, even companies, of being tone deaf. He's not tone deaf. He's just trying to make some type of wave.
Do you think it's a stance?
It's not a stance.
No, you know people try to run with that. Like, you think it's a stance that he's making or a statement?
Nah, this is
I think Thug is just like, he's clever in the way of like drawing in attention at any time. Like his relevance is always, well, he's talented as shit. I mean, I will give him that. He's very talented, but his relevance has always came in with, and I wouldn't say just crazy antics. It's just that he knows how to get seen and he knows what's going to make people talk. You know, he's always been good at that. But
Here we are, right?
right.
All right, we got to go to make sure we're on time, but real quick, we'd just like to give some love to OG Maco. So, like, over the weekend, he shared a post saying that, like, he's been going through a hard time. Like, he had a rash that wasn't treated well, that's now turned into, like, a skin-eating disease, and he's been dealing with depression, etc. I'm sure that wasn't easy for him to share with everyone. So just sending some love. Hopefully he'll feel better soon.
Absolutely. I seen the story on, I think, on Axe page, and when I seen it, like, you know, when we spoke about him, you know, being on QC and all of that, I know he was pretty upset about it or whatever, but I sent him a DM. I don't know if he ever checked it or not, but I just said, like, I think it was very courageous of him for just putting himself out there, because it might be another kid that's going through the same thing that doesn't know how to express himself or doesn't because they're embarrassed to show themselves. So I said, you know, I hope he gets past this, and, you know, I wish him all the strength and all the blessings.
Yeah, when I seen this, by the way, he's gone through a lot in the last couple of years, career-wise and even personally. I know a lot of people, like I posted this on Instagram, and of course he posted it himself, but a lot of people see the shock factor and they might see how he looks or whatever. Like, he actually wrote a whole caption about it. Yeah. He actually even referred people like, hey, if you guys care enough, you guys can go look up what I'm going through. Yeah. A lot of people didn't really care about that. I've seen a bunch of ignorant comments, bringing up even some rumors that circulated about him years ago. I'm just happy that he actually came forward now. It's very sad that he's even saying, which I could imagine, because niggas ain't shit, when he says, a lot of people around me, they deserted me. And I felt really low. And for me to now be able to show you guys this, not after like I'm a little bit better or whatever, like I don't even know what stage that's at, but like it looks still.
He said that's like the best he's looked.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I seen it. He said that's the best he's looked in months. So like I said, like for him to do that, that's very courageous. I'm not into like putting yourself really out there on social media, but I understand that he does have a platform with him being an artist. And I'm pretty sure it's tons of people that go through this. Yeah. So, you know, if he could give them some inspiration. You know?
Yeah, there's always going to be the ignorant people in the comments talking shit, but fuck those people. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here who also wish you well and send love. And we're some of those people. Anyway, guys, we got to go. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.